Hello, everyone, and welcome back once more. Now, I mean, this really is a follow-on from the last one, but I think we mentioned in the last one something about finding your tribe, and we thought it might be quite interesting just to expand on that a little, what we mean by that and why it's so important. We come back to frequency and resonance with all of this. So yeah, finding your tribe.
Really important one, Sarah. I'm glad we're going to talk about it. It's something that really shifted my life for the better when I realized the importance of this, because I think when all of us step out onto this journey of, evolution, ascension, self-awareness, whatever you want to call it, we can sometimes feel a bit like a fish out of water because we're learning all these new things and all these wonderful teachings, and we're getting these kind of feelings of resonance within our body, and we're feeling excited, and we start to expand our awareness and consciousness. And then suddenly we're like, oh my God, I'm on my own. Like nobody gets what I'm talking about down the pub. Nobody in
Yeah.
my family understands what the hell I'm talking about. My friends glaze over and give me that kind of like 1,000-yard stare whenever I start speaking about these sorts of things. And it's enough to make some of us want to just run back fast in the other direction. But of course, once we know certain things, we can't unknow them, can we? So we're kind of lost in this liminal space, which is where, of course, the tribe and finding a tribe has become so important, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it can feel a very, very lonely, very, very isolated space to be in. So finding your tribe becomes important. And I think it's easier to do now than it's ever been because there are more and more awake people, more and more aware people out there. But it's kind of, I don't know about you, but in the day, I used to go to mind, body, spirit festivals and fairs and things like this, thinking, oh, I'll meet people there. And then coming away feeling, oh,
That
that,
was odd.
that felt rather grubby, actually. And it was quite commercial. It was about money. It was about people comparing themselves to others. There was backbiting, and there is a lot in certain so-called new age communities, a lot of backbiting and things like that. So, I mean, it was one of the things that had me really disconnecting from the so-called new age, any identification with the new age stuff, because it just never felt particularly good. And it wasn't about that. I mean, think of the Christos teachings and what they call you to embody. It wasn't about meeting people at that level. And so, it had me thinking, well, what do I do? And, just occasionally you trip across someone and then you start conversations like this. And then you realize, oh, here's a soul sister. And it's like, oh, she may be miles away from me, but it doesn't matter. There's the phone, there's Zoom, and we can feed and nourish each other through that means. And when we do get together, isn't it wonderful? But what I'm seeing now are bigger communities coming together. But I think, one of the things that set us off on this was talking about the Shine Festival that I've just been to. And that coming together, I've never been in a space like it. It was the first time I've been to Shine, and I've been missing several years of all this wonderful yummy stuff because I've just missed it totally. But I mean, it was extraordinary. It was extraordinary.
Whereabouts was it, Sarah? Tell us a little bit more
It
about
was in Westbury on 7,
Okay.
in some couple of fields in Westbury on 7, and a lot of people camped. It was just kind of like a big circle of tents, and there was a little healers field where healers had come set up their pitches, basically. Several tents for talks, some tents for workshops, and then a big I don't know what you call it, a nosh tent, where the food is. And people putting together beautiful fresh vegetarian food, basically, to feed everybody with.
Beautiful.
But it was the frequency of the people there, and they've really coalesced around the chap who organizes it, called Eli. And he's just attracted in the most extraordinary people, wonderful speakers, just people who are there to make, you know, everybody there was there for community. They were there to help make the planet better, to help other people sort out issues and problems and things. I mean, everybody there was working in community. Incredibly different, incredibly diverse. I mean, the range of speakers, you know, went from me with you know, my aliens and fallen races and things like this, to people talking about, you know, the architects of the one world order and how to clear chemtrails using white vinegar and various health. You know, there was a wonderful Ayurvedic doctor who did a talk, and you know, other holistic practice. I mean, just anything and everything. And it wasn't, believe me, I've got the answer, you know, listen to me, I'm the new guru. It was nothing like that. It was like, here's information, take it away, work with it, let me share with you, you know, this is what I know, this is what I understand. It was so refreshing, and I couldn't stay for the 4 days, unfortunately. I only did 2 days there, and next year, whatever happens, I'm doing 4 days, full stop.
Yeah, I love it.
Because I came away, even those 2 days, I came away, it was like a refreshing bath. You get out of it in a totally different space. I've come away and, you know, it's just washed away so much of the dirt that was clinging to me, as it were. And I feel revitalized, refreshed, and, you know, the clarity of being in this frequency field, even a relatively short period of time. It's transformational, and that's what your tribe should be. They should help to keep you in that higher vibe.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I've noted down some words here, you know, look or notice the frequency, the community, the intention of the individuals within that, their desire to be collaborative, I guess, have those collaborative and supportive tendencies, but still remaining sovereign, not like they're kind of jumping on the back of what you're doing and sort of make that their own. So one of the things that we can do if we find ourselves struggling, I mean, Shine it just sounds like a wonder, you know, you've got, I'm going to go next year as well, but if you can't find something, you know, immediately in your area, or you don't want to wait a full year to go to something like that, you can, of course, start your own, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's very interesting because there's a Telegram channel for Shine, and there's lots of people who've joined the channel, and you know, people were sort of putting out on the channel, thank you for wonderful 4 days, thank you to the organizers, all of this, and showing some pictures from the day and stuff like that. And then people from up north and you know, places, North Wales and North England and stuff like that, places that are a long way away, and you know, it's a hell of a haul to get here, and couldn't make it, saying, oh, please come and do something like this in my area.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, can I? Why don't you talk to Eli, because he would help. I mean, he would tell you what needs to be done. I mean, he just you know, the Shine started from all of those nasty COVID lockdowns that we had, and he just thought, I want to bring people together.
Beautiful.
You know, I want to bring like-minded people together in the midst of all this muck. And he started to do that. You know, he's been in many ways making it up as he's gone along. He had a vision of what he wanted, and he's brought it into reality. And we can all do that. We just have to be bothered.
We can, and I would imagine that there's quite a few people listening to these recordings who are perhaps themselves healers or coaches, or, you know, Reiki practitioners, or who goodness knows, you know, all sorts. And what I found in my own work is that I was working individually with clients through my own practice, which is, you know, fundamentally a kind of spiritual coaching, if you want to call it that. And I was finding that people were saying to me, am I the only one that's, you know, I just feel like I'm so alone. And I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if I brought all of my various different individual clients together in some sort of waiting lounge together, so that they could have coffee, you know, metaphorically speaking. And I just did it by bringing together a WhatsApp group. Of these people, and then running a couple of monthly Zoom calls with them for a very nominal amount of money, to be part of a community where they could network with like-minded people.
Yeah.
Now I've got people visiting each other all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've made those connections within those groups, and they've expanded their friendship group to include these like-minded people where they can't have the conversations with the person that they went to school with and
Yeah.
they're best friends with. So there's so many ways, to your point, Sarah, to just, doesn't have to be something on the scale of Shine, although it's wonderful if it is.
Yeah.
It can just be something where you, in a very small way, with maybe 8 or so women, begin to lead your own movement.
Yeah. And this comes back to, it comes back to sovereignty. You know, I mean, what is it you want? You're a creative being, a co-creative being. What is it you want? If you don't see it out there, you don't sit there like a baby bird on a branch with its mouth open whining.
Mhm.
You make it happen. You find a way. I mean,
Yeah.
create. And we have, with the sort of current technology, wisely used.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is being bothered and thinking you can do it. You can. You know, if your tribe isn't local to you, isn't around you, I mean, you may be surprised. I mean, these things are well hidden.
They are well.
They're not out there. You know, sort of meeting down at the pub on Friday nights, so blah, 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 blah. It's not there, but they're very quietly hidden. So poke around, get off your ass and go and see what's going on.
I've had to smoke out my local network. So I've got, obviously, I'm quite connected. Obviously, you live in Wales and I'm in Devon, we're quite a
Yeah.
long way from each other. So you've got those kind of connections, but locally it's lovely to have a little
Yeah.
network. And it can take some time and it can take some discernment. I found a astrologer, funny enough, at a Mind Body Spirit show, which I had a similar feeling to you about. It was just kind of grubby and a bit weird. There was this one little lady in the corner and she had a card, a business card, made me laugh. I could hardly read it. The print was so poor, but it turned out she was an astrologer in my village. And I thought, right, that's who I'm going to network with.
Yeah.
All the others were out there loud and proud and all selling their wares, but she was the one that I thought, that's the woman that I want to connect with. So sometimes you have to smoke them out a bit.
Yeah, and we come back to, every time we come back to frequency, to, is it resonant? Is this person resonant with me? Does it feel right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I can remember from all of the kind of management teachings that I used to have many years ago when I was kind of in the corporate world. That 7 Habits of Powerful People, or whatever it's called. You basically have to put yourself with the people who are what you want to become.
Absolutely that.
Because then you pick up their resonant field and that becomes your resonant field, and that's what you attract in. It's very, I mean, that's just simple law of attraction type stuff, really. But yeah, I mean, if you want to begin to embody the Christos teachings, if you want to really start properly on the ascension path, if you want to become a better version of yourself at every level, and you want the world to change, in all sorts of ways, you become part of that frequency pattern in the world. So you go and find those, create coming together of that level of frequency to keep yourself in that field. You don't keep yourself in that grubby field that doesn't feel right to you. And yes, it's lonely to start with. It is lonely to start with, but by God, look to where you want to go and keep yourself moving there, rather than dropping back because at least at least it's someone to go to the pub with, or at least it's someone, because that resonant field will keep, it's like having your feet stuck in treacle.
Well, I mean, something I've noticed there is quite interesting. When I got into astrology in a small way, I learnt that my Chiron, so my wounding, is in Aries. And one of the things that I've noticed about Aries is it is the leader, it's the adventurer, it's the pioneer, it's the joyful, lead from the front kind of archetype. And so many of the people that I am associated with and that I serve have also got that wounded Chiron, that wounded leader. And I wonder if those of us that find ourselves in these sorts of, ways of living and working do have a Chiron wounding. We do have, or maybe a Pisces wounding, which is the spiritual. So, we actually are here to heal that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our birth chart is really And there's such power in understanding astrology. There's such power in knowing, you know, this personality template, because that's what it's talking to, is your personality template, in where the problems and the challenges and the gifts are within that. So yeah, and everything in that, we are here to heal it. It is not a, you know, this is my fate, this is my doom, there's nothing I can do to change it. This is your challenge, and the challenge becomes the gift.
I think that's the important thing, isn't it? When we master our wounding, we actually become the leader or the master or the expert in the thing that we needed to heal. So rather than seeing it as our weakness, we can see it as a strength. And maybe that oh gosh, that couldn't be me leading that thing, that couldn't be me at the front building a community, is the thing we're here to heal. So build that tribe.
Absolutely, build that tribe. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean to say necessarily you're living within it the entire time, although there are people bringing communities together in that way, you know, buying land, sharing, you know, effectively putting together small communes in that way. That there is that happening out there. But yeah, I mean, just finding connection, it is so uplifting. It is so uplifting, and we all need to keep ourselves at that kind of frequency for as much as we can. So whatever it takes, find your tribe. And yeah, maybe we need to do more at that level as well.
I created a card deck a few years ago. It's called the Wisdom Deck.
Yeah.
I was laughing because I realized that one of the cards in the deck speaks entirely to this thing.
Your tribe, yeah.
Your tribe, and that beautiful illustration there from the very talented Siri in Norway. You know, that is it. Is, you know, you see this little heart emanating from that gathering of individuals. And the wording might be quite fun to leave with. You found yourself feeling dispirited and misunderstood of late. It's easy to lose momentum when you're around people who don't understand your passions, motivation, and drive. This card is an invitation to surround yourself with like-minded souls who see your greatness and hold you to your highest self, even when you've temporarily forgotten how much your dreams mean to you. Where does your tribe hang out? Consider joining a success circle or host one yourself. Bringing compatible people together in support of each other's journey is a powerful and enjoyable catalyst for change. Yeah. If that doesn't say what we're talking about, I don't know.
Absolutely. And didn't Gandhi say it? Be the change you want to see in the world.
That's it, isn't it? Sarah, so wonderful to talk about this. Thank you so much for raising it into our consciousness. Get out there, find your tribe, and if you can't find them, lead one.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, like, subscribe, whatever the rest of it is. you know the routine.
You know what to do.
And we'll see you again next time. Bye.